Last summer I made a video on how we grow a lot of food in a small space. Today I'll talk about how we're expanding on those strategies, as well as share a new technique that's allowing us to grow more food than ever before. One of the best ways to optimize space in your garden is to grow vertically, which literally adds a whole new dimension to your garden and allows you to think of your growing space not in terms of square feet, but in terms of cubic feet. We've always grown on trellises, but this year I replaced the old nylon or twine netting on most of our trellises with concrete remesh, which will hold a lot more weight. I also added a few new trellises, giving us a total of 12. We'll be growing a number of crops on the trellises, including tomatoes, cucumbers, winter squash, watermelons, scarlet runner beans, and sugar snap peas. In addition to the extra growing space afforded by the new trellises, we're growing a number of indeterminate tomatoes along the edge of this path. I'll drive a 10-foot section of conduit a couple feet into the ground to support each plant. As the tomatoes grow, we'll prune all of the suckers and grow them single stem up the conduit. We'll tie them off to the conduit using gardening tape. This approach will allow us to grow a number more tomatoes, while not taking up much space and not shading out other plants too much. Another space-saving strategy we're expanding on this year is the use of containers. As always, we'll grow our peppers and eggplants in pots on the front steps, but we'll also be using grow bags more than ever before. When this Asian pear tree is mature, we'll need the walking space around the tree. But for now, it's a great place to grow tree collards, kale, and onions in 7 and 10 gallon grow bags. We also hope to grow more potatoes this year. In addition to the organic purple Vikings in the bed behind me, we're also growing them in a number of 7 gallon grow bags, along with a number of bags of organic all blue potatoes, which are just starting to emerge through the leaf mulch. We also slightly increased our growing space with the addition of this new keyhole-shaped raised bed. This walking path used to extend from here all the way over to here where the old bed began. Now the new bed uses some of that space. There's just a small keyhole opening here to allow access. The new bed only adds about 7 square feet to the garden, but every little bit counts. This next space-saving technique is something totally new for us. Our new heavy-duty trellises and remesh grids give us new opportunities to grow vertically. Here I've constructed a temporary growing shelf simply by sliding 1x4 boards through the remesh as shown here. I place a number of seedlings in pots on the shelf and secure the side boards using bungee cords. The shelves are wide enough to accommodate much larger pots, so I'll likely transplant the kale and collards into the garden and up-pot the lettuce into gallon pots and grow them to maturity here on the shelves. We're also growing winter squash, watermelon, and snap peas in these beds, but I anticipate that we'll harvest the lettuce before the vines reach this height. We may then keep the shelving in place to serve as support for the watermelon and squash fruit. We're just beginning to realize the potential of the new trellises to expand our growing space. In addition to adding many more of these shelves, we can run conduit across the top of the trellises to provide support for hanging plant baskets. I'm really excited about all the possibilities. The last way we're growing more food this year than ever before is by growing more cold-hardy perennials and self-sowing annuals. We have them growing in more beds, and we're protecting the beds with cold frames and low tunnels during the cold months. As a result, we have significantly more greens to harvest this time of year than in prior years. I'll provide a list of these greens in the description. So that in a nutshell is how we plan to grow more food this year than ever before. Well, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, remember, you can change the world 1 yard at a time.